heard this analogy before about kind of the idea of like feeling like you have it all together and that you understand, what life is about. And so you give people this package. This is what life is about. This is how it's done. And oftentimes once you become very vulnerable with yourself, go through something traumatic and wake up to a lot of things that are going on. Sometimes when you meditate, whatever it is, a lot of times when you are able to get vulnerable with yourself and get into this space of actually realizing what it is that's truly going on around us, you realize that package that you were giving people was not the right package, that it was not wrapped well. It was completely fucked up. And you at the time thought it was like the most beautiful, like put together shit ever. And then the irony is when we think that we are so set in stone, that we have it all so figured out, and something happens where we're like, wow, I really don't know shit. I got a lot to learn. And so then you start changing. There's a lot of times like this fear to change because you have just literally handed out billions of packages of this is how life is, this is how it works, and now you're gonna like take that back for yourself and destroy it because you realize that that's not the right package. It's like this fear to change because you think you have to be a certain way, but then that certain way at a certain point becomes unbearable because you're like, this package that I once thought was so beautiful, it literally just makes me want to fucking throw up now. Like, I can't even look at it. And so it's just ironic because you're always going to have haters. You're literally, when you think you have that perfect, beautiful package, you might have convinced yourself that everybody loves you. But I'm telling you right now that everybody has haters. There's people hating on you and seeing through that fake bullshit package, okay? And so when you change, there's going to be a lot of people that want to pull you back into that like misery of like how you used to be. And honestly, a lot of times I feel like when people are like, oh man, okay, so like for example, I used to drink all the time, then I stopped drinking, and then people were like, oh my god, Gentry doesn't drink anymore, like, who are you? And I'm like, who are you? But it's like, I don't think sometimes those people understand that they're doing that. But really, that's the fact of what it is. You realize, like, wow, this drinking thing really isn't helping me. I need to stop that. And then people are trying to be like, oh, well, come drink with us all the time. You're like, well, no, it's really causing a problem in my health and just mentally and I'm just going to not drink, So people kind of have this way of getting mad at you for not drinking, for taking your health seriously. The reason I say that these people don't realize it is because, like, you were literally just sitting there giving them this package that, like, life is drinking and drinking is like, I'm not saying I was doing that, but, like, when you just change up so hard like that, you gotta expect people to be kind of like, not everybody does that, but it comes from a point of unbearableness, like that you just can't bear your life in that state anymore, so something must change. And I'm trying my best to explain, like, to put into words the irony. The idea that we think that our package isn't good enough, that we need to, like, fabricate this package to go throughout life, and then what happens is people just end up hating on it, and it's really not the right package anyways. You kind of figure that out throughout life and through the experiences you're going through. It's just the irony of the package you already have is good enough, and that package itself that's gonna get haters too. That's the irony. So why even try to fabricate this other package, this thing of how you think life should go and how it should be, instead of just being? You already are just being. That's like the best thing ever. I love that for you. But if you're anything like me and you've had to go through a lot of just like, wow, that's not really who I was. I was trying to do that so other people would approve of me, and I'm like at this point where I don't even approve of myself. Then you have to get to this point where you're like, okay, what is it that I want in life? What is it that like that's going to make me happy, fulfilled, sustained, satiated. Transition has a lot of karmatic effects because you were so sure in who you were before until the moment of realization, right? Like, we think when we're putting on a show that it's like we're really like, I don't know, people putting on a show really do think that they're the actor in the movie. I don't know how else to put that. And so it's like until you realize you don't want to change. Once you realize, then you want to change. And then you have to deal with a lot of people being like, yo, bro, like I really thought you were this way. And you're just like, yo, I'm not. Like, apparently I never was. And that's going to be like really painful. You're going to hurt a lot of people. A lot of people are going to leave your life because you weren't who you said you were. And that, wow. Okay, so that's actually a huge reason why people won't change even when they have realized that they should change, is because they are so fearful as to lose the people in their lives. Okay, this is actually important because this has really helped me. So you have to get over that fear of losing people that don't even care about you, okay? Because, dude, once you start being and doing your genuine thing, like I said before, people that are meant to be in your life are going to naturally gravitate towards you, okay? These people that are like, oh, you're not who I thought you were, peace out, fair, it makes sense. But at the same time, people don't leave people that they love. Okay, listen, people leave people that they're using. That's a really hard one for a lot of people to accept, but I don't think unconditional love leaves. Unconditional love can set space. You can have space between people, and somebody's maybe like, let's say you don't like yo mama jokes, and your friend is always saying yo mama jokes, and you're like, bro, I asked you to stop, and they're not stopping. You're like, oh, I can't hang out with you right now. We're just not going to hang out until you can't say yo mama jokes around me. I know it's a ridiculous example, but it doesn't mean that you leave their life. You're setting space so that they can realize what it is that they're doing that is hurting you, that's crossing your boundaries. It doesn't matter if it's them bringing up purple rocks. Like, fuck, dude, if that shit is triggering to you, your friend should be able to realize, like, oh shit, I remember purple rocks are triggering to you. I'm not gonna bring that up right now. You're gonna have haters as an actor. You're gonna have haters as yourself. You might as well take the genuine chance on being yourself. A lot of people are gonna be mad at you for it. And you know what? Like, people will say this shit that's like, oh, you've changed and all that. It's like, people don't realize it's actually really hard to be your genuine self in this world. I heard this thing the other day. It's like, being vulnerable is a superpower. And I really thought about it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, it is. Because you know what we're taught? We're taught for some reason to be so self-hateful, so self-destructive, that for some reason, everything about you is not right. Change it. For the world. Not for yourself, for the world. So that other people will accept you. Isn't that fucking crazy, bro? That's fucking crazy. You are not here on accident. The universe perfectly, divinely intended you to be here in this moment as you are. It literally is insane. So instead of doing what the world is telling you, and like, make sure, please make sure that everybody else, every single person around you approves of you before yourself. Please make sure of that, because it's so important that these strangers that walk by you, that'll never see you again, approve of you. Approve of yourself.